recent announcement from the university.
And what special event WSU is hosting for graduates tomorrow? Find the details about these stories and more on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good afternoon, I'm Natalie Nuka.
And I'm Isaac Connors. Welcome to Murrow News 8. Students had many different reactions when it was announced on Wednesday that WSU will be requiring students to provide proof of the COVID-19 vaccination for the 2021-2022 school year. Murrow News 8 talked with two students and got their thoughts on the decision.
All it's going to create is more people to fight the guidelines that are being asked.
So I'm getting that vaccine and I'm taking in everything that I pay for.
I don't think it'd be difficult or a problem if they just added it as part of the vaccination requirements. But I do think it's kind of messed up to force people to take a shot that they don't willingly want to take.
WSU set up drive-through graduation for seniors. Our live reporter Mackenzie is live on campus where the event will take place.
Thanks, Natalie. I'm here on campus where the graduation drive-through celebration will take place this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. Students will be able to drive through campus like here in Terra Mall to reminisce on times that they've had here at WSU. There have been some conflicting thoughts on the subject, though, and we have an exclusive interview with WSU senior Tessa Check.
I feel excited that I get to go on campus for at least something, and at least something's going to happen. So I'm happy. I've seen a little preview of where it's going to be, and I'm excited to drive through the mall, and I get to go with my roommate who's also graduating. So I think it's a little, even though it's not what we want, but it's the best that we can have right now. And so I'm thankful for that.
Idaho Representative Vonnai Ellinger resigned from his seat Thursday. This decision comes shortly after the Idaho House Ethics Committee recommended that Vonnai Ellinger be censured and suspended for conduct. Vonnai Ellinger was a first-term Republican and former Army soldier who was appointed only 11 months ago. And it's going to be busy Saturday in Moscow. Both the annual Farmers Market and the annual Renaissance Fair is this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Main Street to 6th Street. And if you're looking for dragons, the Wild Thing dragon will be on display and is going to be part of the Renaissance Fair's parade from 2 o'clock. The market is going to run every Saturday through October. Curbside service will be available and face coverings will be required when 6-foot physical distancing cannot be maintained. There is also going to be designated shopping hours for at-risk individuals from 8 to 9 a.m. And that sounds like a lot of fun.
WSU Farm Sale is back. The WSU Eggert Family Farm Stand will be open 2 to 4 p.m. this Friday. Stop by for some fresh spring greens and garden herb plants. You can also purchase online. The farm is located on Animal Science Road, directly behind the WSU Grizzly Bear Research Center.
A 65-year-old Rosalia man has been arrested for allegedly starting illegal fires. The fires blew out of control and burned multiple abandoned trailer homes. Volunteer firefighters from several Whitman County departments responded to the blaze on Thursday. No one was hurt by the fires.
For many WSU students getting ready to go out into the real world, they've heard the saying, "Cougs help kooks." But what does a general statement like that mean to so many? Our reporter Sigmund Seroka found out for us.
And so I reached out to the chapter person for the Vancouver area and said, hey, I think, we have to do something for our Cougs because I'm in a place where I can, take care of my family and do these things. But I know there's other students and individuals who need help. So the Cougs were generous. And it wasn't just a small bag. We were getting huge boxes of everything you can think of, from baby supplies to toilet paper to water. Really, I would say friends, but it's, we're family.
And I think only one time in my college experience in Pullman did my dad make it over for a dad's weekend. And I was glad he did, and we had a ball. But those times he wasn't there, I didn't feel depressed or left out or anything. I mostly hung around with other friends and their families. They invited me into what they were doing, and it was great. It was fun. Cougs always find their way back home, and it's a home feeling about the campus, the people, the community. That's part of what drives people to behave that way with fellow Cougs. You just do something nice.
For many Cougs, like Mary Mendoza and Scott Tanner, it was as simple as picking up food off of a porch for a food drive or just not letting someone feel left out when their family couldn't come to town. But for other Cougs like CJ Robert, it was a difference between life and death.
Halfway through that year, I got diagnosed with this rare condition called gastroparesis. And so it basically means that your entire digestive system is completely paralyzed. So yeah, like transitioning into that and then finding out that like, oh great, you literally can never play sports again. You're never gonna have a sense of a regular, normal athlete level life anymore. And that was just overnight. That was the hardest part because like you're sitting there as a brand new business owner, super sick, like literally dying of this disease, and like no one would help.
This disease had basically taken away CJ's life and had given her a death sentence. She went everywhere she could for answers until she found one day at the Swedish hospital in Seattle.
So finally I was like, okay, I have to do this surgery. So I went in like May of 2016 and went and saw my specialist in Seattle, and he was like, yeah, I still think you're a great candidate, like let's do this. And so he's really booked out. And so, he was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be able to even get to the surgery until probably like October. Like I literally just like broke down crying because he was like, well, then you're just gonna have to.
The YMCA of the Palouse is now offering 20 full-ride scholarships for families looking for after-school and summer programs in Pullman for their children. The YMCA of the Palouse received $5,000 from the Meter Foundation for its after-school programs and $15,000 for Innovia Foundation and its summer programs. These scholarships are available to families who qualify for financial assistance based on income and household size.
And WSU is continuing to see positive COVID-19 cases in the area. Today it was reported that 8 new cases have been confirmed among students at WSU. Currently there are 22 active cases at the university, and the 8 new positive results means there are 6 more cases than what WSU had reported on Wednesday.
With all of the lovely weather we've been having, that means it's time to take off those studded snow tires. Today is the last day that drivers are legally allowed to use studded tires in the state of Idaho. So for all of you in Idaho, if you haven't gotten those tires off, make sure to get your car in and get them off. And for all the Washingtonians, the studded snow tire season ended a month ago. So if you haven't taken them off already, you might want to get your car in ASAP.
And the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport could be getting a new direct route to the Idaho capital in Boise. The University of Idaho president met with Alaska Airlines recently and said the meeting was encouraging. The airport board approved $25,000 to advertise flights if an airline agrees to offer the service. Additionally, the airport will waive the landing fees for the airline for 2 years.
And for the first time ever, the Snake River Family Festival will begin Saturday. The event will last a month-long celebration in the Columbia Snake River system at Boyer Park and Marina Colfax. Families may register up to 5 members of their household as early as Saturday through the Snake River Family Festival's Facebook page. There will be free ice cream tomorrow, and the first 500 registrants will receive a festival goodie bag. An area in Washington is leaking nuclear waste.
And what Washington City received recognition from the Biden administration. These stories and more coming up on Murrow News 8.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. We lose some of the best moments, some that may never repeat,
Come on.
or detach from people around us. Our loved ones grow used to this pattern. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. It's never too late to live a full life again. Hear how many of us Vietnam veterans have managed our mental health and reconnected with our families. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
And welcome back. An underground nuclear storage tank on the Hanford Nuclear Reservation appears to have sprung a leak. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, the underground tank is not the only one that may be leaking, as many more of the 149 single-walled tanks are believed to be leaking. Jay Inslee addressed the situation in a press conference on King 5 News last night.
It has been a long-time concern of ours because there have been previous thousands of gallons of waste. I'm advised this is about 1,300 gallons that has been identified in this particular leak. I am advised from the information from the federal government that we see no reason to believe there is any imminent threat of health to Washingtonians. That's good news.
And a spokesman for the Energy Department, Jeff Tyree, also said there is no increase in threat to the workforce or the public.
A high-ranking member of President Biden's administration applauded Seattle's vaccine effort yesterday. According to Como News, Biden's secretary for the Department of Health and Human Services said, quote, Team Seattle is doing it right, and President Biden and his administration want to be part of that team, end quote.
And COVID-19 has taken a lot of experiences from everyone this past year, but what has it been like for first-time moms? Our Murrow News 8 reporter Christian Garza talked with local first-time moms to get their perspective.
Motherhood has never been an easy task, from the hormones to your body going through physical changes every day. Now add the pressure of a global pandemic and it just seems like it's impossible. With Mother's Day just around the corner, it begs the question, how many babies were actually born during the pandemic? According to this UNICEF website, an estimated 116 million babies were born under the shadow of COVID-19. This means that millions of first-time mothers not only had to learn how to navigate the trials and tribulations of motherhood, but also how to keep their newborn baby safe from the virus. A first-time mom from Moscow, Amber Mendenhall, talks about her experience with childbirth during a pandemic and what the protocols were like in that hospital room.
They talked about you might have to wear a mask. We're going to give you a test while you're in labor. So they're shoving up that Q-tip, while I'm going through a contraction and sending it off to be tested. Luckily, I didn't have to wear a mask in the room, but it kind of depended on the nurse's preference. So if there was a nurse on duty who was more comfortable with us wearing masks, I would need to wear one, which I completely respect. It just would have been much harder.
Lundy Peterson had to deal with the scary scenario of having her husband contract COVID-19 just weeks after giving birth to her daughter. She had to figure out how to be there for her baby as a parent, but also try to make sure that she and her newborn baby were safe from the virus.
I was so, like when he first tested positive, I was like, you can't touch her, you can't be around her, because we just didn't know how she would, what would happen. And I think I was really worried about people also finding out, because I didn't want them to think that, we were being irresponsible, because we really had tried to be as careful as we could given the circumstances. Then she ended up being really congested. And so we took her in to get tested, and they did the nasal swab, which was just horrible because she just screamed. I think she was like 6 weeks old at the time. But she ended up, I mean, she never got a fever, and so she ended up being okay. And overall, it was a much less scary experience than I thought it would be going into it.
On top of taking care of their newborn baby and just worrying about the general health of their baby, there's also one final thing that moms should be aware of, and that's their mental health. According to Alpha Medical's website, 1 in 8 mothers may experience postpartum depression after giving birth to their babies. Cynthia Cabrera-Willis openly discusses her struggles with postpartum depression and anxiety and how the state of the world played a role in its severity.
I honestly felt like I was trapped, inside my house with this baby, and we couldn't really go anywhere or see anyone or do anything like that. And so I actually did get I did get postpartum anxiety and depression just from not being able to have those interactions with other people. I think if I was able to go out and, just go to people's houses or go to the mall, and just do those things with friends and family, I think I would have been a lot better off.
I think like advice that I would give is just to give yourself grace. There are hard aspects of all of it, of like pregnancy and the way that your body changes, and the birth experience can be really traumatic. And then you just have this person that is completely reliant on you for all their needs. And it can be really easy to feel like you're failing. But I think it's so important to give yourself grace, to remind yourself that this is a big change and you're doing the best that you can.
If you or anyone you know has any questions about pregnancy during a pandemic or postpartum in general, visit Alpha Medical's website at www.helloalpha.com or ask your local healthcare provider. I'm Christian Garza with Murrow News 8.
A Yakima man was arrested after police caught him with more than a dozen pandemic benefit cards. The cards are worth thousands of dollars and in the name of local children. Police first made contact with the man when responding to a wrecked car. The driver, Albert Pastrana, accused the officer of planting the cards on him. The benefit cards provide money to families with children who qualify for free lunch or reduced price lunch. Each card has active and had anywhere from $665 to $861, totally to about $10,000. Pastrana was booked for 9 counts of possession of stolen property.
Things are cooling down in Pullman after temperatures almost reached 80 degrees yesterday.
Asia Farrington has the weather report coming up after the break.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Yesterday's temperatures was the highest Pullman had in a while. AJ, can we expect more warm weather for the remainder of the semester?
Yes, Natalie, we're continuing with that warm weather today with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 47. We do have some winds coming in from the west at 60 miles per hour, so we do have a little bit of a breeze coming on. And it is partly cloudy again. We got that sunrise and sunset, 5:33 and 7:57. I personally keep getting woken up at 6 a.m. from the sun. On for tomorrow's forecast, all you grads that are doing that drive-through, you can expect a high of 65 degrees. It is going to be a slight chance of sprinkles because it is partly cloudy again, but it's going to be mostly sunny for the most part, so don't be afraid to keep those windows down. Onto the Washington State map. Seattle and Olympia have some rain today. The warmest parts of this day are actually Yakima and Tri-Cities with low 80s and some high 70s. And then, of course, we've got over here your Spokane and Pullman in the 70s. Onto the 5-day forecast. Looking at tomorrow, yes, we've got dipping down into the 60s, and even for Tuesday, we're expecting some rain. Now let's look at some grad photos. If you're wanting to get your grad photos done, be sure to get those done on Sunday and Monday because we got some sun coming our way. Ooh, gotta step out of the way here. Perfect. Well, I'm Asia Farrington with your weather. Back over to the desk.
Thanks, Asia. And what WSU sports team takes on Oregon later today?
And what national sport had its draft last night? We've got these stories and more coming up after the break.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Murrow News 8 Sports Block. WSU baseball will be hosting number 8 Oregon for a weekend series. The Cougs, who are 19-16 on the season and 7-11 in Pac-12 play, will be facing a tough test against the highly ranked Ducks. The Cougs are coming off a 7-5 loss to Gonzaga on Tuesday. The first of 3 game series starts tonight at 6:05 p.m. at Bailey Brayton Field. After a 1-0 victory last night against the Houston Astros, the 14-12 Seattle Mariners will host the LA Angels tonight to kick off the beginning of a 3-game series. The Mariners are 3-4 against opponents from the AL West. The Seattle offense has compiled a .207 batting average as the team this season, with Ty France leading the team in hits with 28. The Angels have gone 5-7 against division opponents this season, and Los Angeles has hit 32 home runs this season, which is 4th in the majors, as Shohei Ohtani leads the club with 7 dingers of his own. You can catch the Mariners game at 7:10 p.m. on Root Sports. The Seattle Kraken has officially become the NHL's 32nd team. The team made it official when they paid their final installment of $650 million. With the final installment being paid, the Kraken are now able to trade and sign players. The Kraken will start play in October this year. The NFL draft is in full effect. Last night kicked off the annual event for the first round of 7 as high-ranking college prospects look to make their dreams come true while making a boatload of cash. The first round of the draft saw quarterbacks selected in the first round. Clemson's Trevor Lawrence, BYU's Zach Wilson, and North Dakota State's Trey Lance were the first 3 quarterbacks taken with the first 3 picks. Ohio State's Justin Fields was selected by the Chicago Bears at the 11th pick, and Alabama's Mac Jones was selected by the New England Patriots at the 15th pick. The Seahawks did not have a first-round pick this year, however, as part of their trade last year with the Jets for safety Jamal Adams. Yesterday, there was some drama in the NFL after Aaron Rodgers said was to be disgruntled with the team, saying that he doesn't want to stay in Green Bay any longer. The Packers organization said they have no interest in trading Rodgers, however. Aaron is under contract through the 2023 season, but he has more guaranteed money left on his contract. Coming up on Murrow News 8, we've got a special message from all of us to you at home. And we'll be right back after the break.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Thank you for watching. This is our final newscast of the semester, and it was really great being able to keep bringing you the news as we battle through this pandemic.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite parts about working with Murrow News 8 is just getting to work with a lot of people with so many unique skill sets and just kind of being able to build those friendships. How about you, Natalie?
Yeah, it's really great to have at least one in-person class. What
Yes.
about you, Asia?
I just loved trying out all the different things that you can do in this class. What about you?
You know, my favorite part about this was just getting the bond of people and working, sitting on the desk with people like you. I'm going to miss this, but I know we're all going to be doing great things later on in life. So
It's definitely good to have one in-person class
Yes.
before, because senior year, it's been all virtual.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been real nice to have that class because Zoom universities, it's tough. So it's not fun. Yeah. Well, we'll be back in the fall. Murrow News 8 will be. And have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.